All right. Yeah, I'm still getting over what I've had. It's like a week and a half, 2 weeks now. It's ridiculous. So my voice is still going to be a little crackish, still going to be dry. Oh, my throat still feels dry, but I'll try to make it work. Try to talk better. I hate the way I sound on these things, on the microphone, on videos and stuff like that, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Ditto.
All right. I wanted to talk about vacations.
Vacations.
Yes, because you have been bugging me on that for the past week and a half.
I bug you all the time.
Yes, all the time.
Because I always
about
need a
vacations.
vacation because I'm always overextended.
Cool. Try to talk to the microphone because I can't hear you.
Oops.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, so I feel like we take vacations all the time, like monthly.
No.
That's how I feel.
I don't know why you feel that way.
Because we'll go on vacation, we'll come back, and the following week we're planning another vacation. And then the next thing I know, within a week or two, we're going on vacation again.
That's not true. That's not
Yeah,
true.
that's how I feel. That's why I'm kind of tired right now. I've been saying, let's just put a vacation out to later this year or something like that, maybe at the beginning of next year, because, even though I like vacations, I'm kind of burnt out because I do a lot. One of the things that we could talk about is that myself, I kind of make our vacations a little bit harder than what they have to be
Crazy.
because I haven't flown yet.
Yes.
Yes. So typically I would just drive. I drive where we're going and I drive back. And that takes a lot. And then the type of person that I am, wherever we're going, my head is always on the swivel. You guys get to have most of the fun. I'm there to scan and survey and make sure no one takes advantage of us or try to do anything to us. So I'm constantly, I think I'm a little bit more alert on vacation than I am just like right now here, things like that. But at some point, I'm going to fly.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned this when we spoke previously, that the reason I've delayed trying to fly somewhere is mostly because of you. Because you have to book the ticket and you have to put names on the ticket.
Right.
I discovered in my planning phases, of course, that I wouldn't be able to transfer ownership of the ticket.
Right.
After it's already purchased.
You buy it, you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your ticket.
Yeah.
So, wouldn't want you to back out of it. Do you remember we were driving one day? We were in Orlando, and Ariel said, we were talking about flying back one day, and Ariel's response was, "Yes, Daddy. So you can't ruin it for us." And you were so sad that she correlated not flying with you, that she said that. But yeah,
No, I don't remember that specifically.
That's been, a challenge for a while. And now you have to plan ahead far in advance for these things.
Yes.
And usually with vacations, there are contingencies that I plan for because of Kier.
Mm-hmm.
So if we needed to back out of a deal at any point in time, then I'm not losing money.
Right.
So that's kind of how I plan things out for the vacation, whether it be because I can get a reimbursement on a hotel or we can change dates or whatever the case may be. Booking.com is amazing, where you can book in advance and pay at some facilities you can pay once you get there, rather than paying in advance. I don't know if they do so much of that now, post COVID. I think they're asking for in a lot of cases, they're asking for the money up front. but they still give you a window which to cancel and not have any financial responsibility. So that's how sometimes you can reserve where you plan to go without any financial loss if the plans fall through.
Yeah, you do a pretty good job with planning our trips, getting everything set and straight. That is one of many strengths that you have. I learned that it's best to let you do your thing, and if we agree that this is where we're going, you pretty much get it all whipped up together, and you're like, "We're leaving at this time. We're doing this. We're going there." And I just, okay, yes, ma'am, and I go follow your directions.
But again, you gripe about it
Maybe it
Yeah.
depends. I know
because you have to
I
drive.
griped a little bit. Yeah. And believe it or not, each time I do that, that's leaning me towards flying. It's just chipping away. So I know that it's going to happen. I mean, we have our passports, so it gotta happen. It has to happen.
You don't have to fly internationally just to fly.
I know that, but I was getting to that.
Okay.
So the reason why I said that is because there are certain vacation destinations that I want to go to. Definitely before I die, but hopefully sometime soon. And I know that it's just a matter of me saying, yes, I'm going to fly and we'll be going to those destinations. So I haven't been all over the U.S. I don't want to go all over the U.S., but certain places that I do want to go to, we talked about it, like Wyoming, um, maybe one of the Dakotas at some point, but I want to see that type of U.S., that type of area. I've had dreams about doing that, and it just seems peaceful.
National park.
Yeah, national parks. We might do that, and I might not enjoy it. I don't know, but I think I would. I definitely want to do that the next time because we typically would go to certain destinations and stuff like that, like Florida, and other little places and stuff like that too. And flying will make it easier. It'll be quicker. It'll be less hassle on me. And in addition to that, yes, overseas. I've always wanted to go to Iceland. I want to go to Germany. Certain players and certain areas in what is that? East Europe?
Is it
Is it
Eastern Europe?
East,
I think it's just Europe. I don't know.
just Europe?
Don't
Okay,
get me
yeah,
to-
yeah.
Geography is not my strong
So
suit.
yeah, that I actually would like to go to Japan as well.
Yeah.
Um, and I know there are certain places that you would like to go to, and it will happen.
I think my aunt is in Japan. My family is in Japan right now.
Okay, certain family members.
Yeah.
The one that I would know that travels like that is in Japan.
Well, because that's where
Yeah.
one of my relatives
Yes.
lives right now.
Yeah. That seems like it could be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I know that for a while we have been going back and forth. There was a little battle with me and you about the beach and the mountains. And I don't know if that battle is still going on. Because
think
at
it
one point I was kind of sold on the beach, but I was firmly choosing the mountains because that's what I like. I like the scenery. I like the ruralness that comes with the mountains. I just feel more at home at the mountains. However, with our history, of having a place at a particular coastal town, and going back and forth in between this county and that county. When we had it, I think we spent not Thanksgiving but Christmas at that particular spot that we had. And I know that we spent one year. I think we did spend a Thanksgiving in the Outer Banks. I started growing accustomed to that type of scenery, that type of area, and I think I could handle it. I think it could be okay. I kind of felt like it was for lack of a better term, my personality, I felt like the coastal area was a little bit softer for me. And what I mean by that, it just seems like the people there was just more soft.
What do you mean? Like too kind?
No, not kind. I'll say more liberal. More
Okay.
liberal to be exact. But it wasn't enough to make me feel like this is terrible. You know, I don't think it would be that much different as here where we're at now in the county. You got people from everywhere that have different type of beliefs and stuff like that, and it's just depending on who you come into contact with.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know necessarily, but I had the feeling that you have about places that a destination I choose for our vacations. It's more about what is there for us to do as a family.
Right.
I'm not there to see the people anyway. So
Right.
I don't really care.
However, if we're talking about living there, which we've been having these conversations
Yeah.
for several years now, do we want to live out there? Do we want to live over here? Because we don't feel like this area, definitely Forsyth County, Davidson County, is not our end destination.
Are you putting this on the internet? You're just like telling where we are?
I didn't tell where we are. It's just not our end
Anyway.
destination.
Um,
Right. Well, you could live in South Carolina for all people knows.
we could live. I mean, that doesn't make any sense, but whatever.
However, they don't know what's what. I mean, there's so many counties. That's Forsyth counties and Davidson counties and stuff like that. I've seen these things online and stuff like that. Looking up different agencies. The way I've had to come into contact with different agencies, I find out that we're not the only ones.
Yeah. But I thought we were talking about vacations,
Yes,
not necessarily permanent or semi-permanent
correct. Correct.
destination.
So I'm sorry.
So
Did I
for
have a squirrel moment?
You did.
Oh man,
For places
bad.
to
Oh.
live,
Yes.
there are other places to consider. Long term, I still want something that is similar to what we have because we're kind of equidistant to being able to get to the mountains and being able to get to the coast. So if we did just drive all of our vacations, then we can have a fun, quick trip,
That is true.
few days. Doesn't have to be anything crazy or extremely expensive.
That is true.
And the kids get to have a lot of fun. We get to have fun. Even though you say you don't have that much fun, I see it in your
No, I have fun. It's just that I can't have what I call doo-doo dumb fun. I can't just not think about my surroundings and stuff like that and just totally be in the moment and have fun and just go crazy. And no, I have to stay grounded to a certain degree. And every time that we are somewhere that is foreign to me, my foundation is going to be more stern, if that makes sense. Like I'm having fun.
Yeah.
It's just I know that, me personally, I'm just more alert. But you did make a good point.
Yeah.
That let's say if we did move to the Outer Banks somewhere and we decided we wanted to go, to the mountain somewhere or to the next state over, that would be a longer drive. That would be crazy.
Yeah, it would.
It's crazy to think about that. Yeah, we would have to get on some planes. Because I'm at that point. I don't know whether it's because I'm getting older. Maybe it's because of the things that I do, the active things that I do. Like I'm worn out. I went out and trained earlier today. I'm worn. I'm tired. I'm physically tired. My body is ready to shut down. And almost day to day, I'm like that. Typically, I wake up in the morning, go train, and then you got to go to work. By the time I come home, that's why I go to sleep so quickly, because I'm tired. So I said all that to say that's another squirrel moment. But once again, the more I drive when we go on trips, the more I think to myself, yeah, I need to start getting on the plane.
I think I'm going to video document
Oh,
every
no.
single moment
No.
when that does happen because
Ah.
I will be in such disbelief.
You see, that's either two things that's going to happen, and I know we talked about this before. So if I mentally prepare myself for it and pray a lot, when we fly, I probably won't be saying much. I probably would not be saying much. I probably will be staring. And you, along with other people, will probably be asking, are you okay? You all right? You're not saying anything. You're just staring. And all I'm just trying to do is just hunker down for the ride, try not to freak out.
And that's why I've always, I think I've said this before, we would do a shorter flight for your initial flight. I'm afraid that they're probably going to assume that you're a terrorist. And that you probably get kicked
Look
off
at
or
him. There's
something
something wrong
crazy.
with him. Look
Yeah,
at
you're
him.
just sitting there. I've imagined all kinds of scenarios. The doors close and you just have a panic attack immediately and you just want to get out.
So that's the second thing that can happen. The second thing is that once that door closed and I know that that's that,
Yeah.
and the engine is starting to run, I might just freak out.
Yeah.
Like, yo.
But
And
I think that's a natural response for
it's not for me because I'm
flight.
not the type of person that freak out. I'm the person that's always in control. I'm always smooth. I'm always cool. I'm not, I'm not a jump scary type of person. I'm a take control type of person. Everyone else could be freaking out around me, and I'm going to keep it together. Even if I am, even if I do have some fear or something, I'm going to keep that together. So this flying thing could be that one thing that could make me not keep it together.
Yeah.
And I will be totally out of my shell, out of my personality. I wouldn't want you to see me like that. I wouldn't want the kids or anyone else to see me like. I wouldn't want to see me like that. I know my capabilities. Okay, I know my levels. I know my tipping points, and that right there could be a tipping point. So if I could be distracted, if I could have something on my mind other than getting in this plane, the door shut, and the plane is the engine is coming on, we're starting to move. I know that that's happening. I'm feeling it, but I do have something to get my mind off of it. It will work out better. But if I don't have something to get my mind off of it, it's just one of those two things. Either I'm just gonna be still and just looking hard like this, or I'm just gonna be freaking out. I'm like, no, get me off this plane. Get me off this plane. And if I need to say bomb to get off the plane,
No, you will be banned for life.
get me off this plane. Bomb, 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 bomb. That would be crazy.
You won't be flying
Oh
anywhere
my
ever.
goodness! I will have to explain that to what is it? The plane group agency?
TSA.
Is it the TSA? I'll have to explain that to the TSA, probably the FBI.
Yeah, something crazy.
Who else? Whatever government agency, and then I will have to come here and explain it to my own agency about what happened. And I was just scared. Like I've never done that before. I've never felt like that before. I just had to get off.
You would be permanently labeled a terrorist.
Yeah,
and
that's crazy.
Put on the no-fly list.
They would probably have to. Do you think they would have? Yeah, they would have to fire me. There's no way that you can have.
I don't think so. Don't freak out. The moral of the story: don't freak out.
Like we understand you feels, but you're a terrorist now. I mean, we can't help you. Literally, I can hear them saying that. I can hear certain brass looking at me and saying that we can't help you with this one. We're gonna have to let you go.
I think it would be interesting. I mean, take a little short one, something simple.
Take a short one?
Yeah, short flight.
Oh, a short flight. Okay.
You need to go by yourself. Single flight, single ticket.
Nah, that's worse.
You think so?
Now I have no support.
Well,
that's crazy.
Then It'll have to be all of us.
Oh
But I
my
thought about doing
goodness.
that. Actually,
Woo.
thought about doing that for the next time. But again, if you don't plan ahead, then you're kind of messed up. So
Yeah.
it was really cheap before, and it would have made sense economically to try it just for a short flight. And now it's just an insane price that I'm not going to pay. So
Yeah, I get it. But if we make that jump, if we pay for those tickets, especially to places like Iceland, those kind of places, I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to get on there and
I think
just
it's going to be amazing.
go for it.
The reason I wanted to go the end of September is because it would be right at that time where there's changing seasons. You might be able to experience the northern lights at night, and it still won't be so cold because I can't handle cold. I do not do well with freezing temperatures, and then Kier's so skinny that he would have to have on I would automatically put him on 100 layers of stuff, and he would get angry at me. So
yeah, you're right. Yeah, I totally agree.
I think that I was thinking that would be a good time.
That would be cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen this year. Prices are
Not this year.
Are rising, and
Is it?
it's just insane right now. So,
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. And then in March, when it's still winter there, there are freezing temperatures and it's still snowing. And I would probably never return from that trip. I'd be frozen somewhere.
In Iceland. No, France.
France?
No.
Are you saying no, or
yes,
are you
I'm saying no
asking?
I'm asking, but I'm also saying
France?
until they get their stuff together.
I'm
I feel like
still-
right now it'd be like us taking a trip. Let's just go to New York City. Let's just go to Los Angeles or Philadelphia and
Well,
go right into the heart of the cities.
I think
That's
France
how I
has
feel.
a shifted focus because they're going to have the 2024 Summer Olympics there. And they're trying to clean up a lot of things. And yeah, they had those riots and stuff like that earlier in the year. And still some like within the last month or so.
Okay.
But I think for the most part, the primary focus is to make sure things are straight.
That would actually be pretty cool because we've never been to an Olympic event.
I'm not going there with that many people.
What?
I'm not going there with that many people.
Explain.
I'm not going during the Olympics.
Why?
Bombs. It's all outside.
One bomb
Well, who knows?
in
But
Atlanta.
part of the travel
In the
advisory,
United States is going to prevent you from going to an Olympic event in France.
no, part of the travel advisory is in France is that it's a level 2 because of terrorist attacks, right? And I mean, I'm a weird person, you know that. I don't just blindly say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go to this place," and never look at what it's about.
That's
Right.
not weird. That's being smart.
Well,
Weird people
most
do
people
that.
don't do stuff like that.
Well, then most people
to
are weird,
Most people, I explain my
It's dumb.
tactics to people, and they're like, "You're crazy."
Yeah.
But
That's how you know that.
I
I'm
research
telling you,
everything.
that's how you know you're dealing with somebody that, okay, I'm going to involve myself with you with these little bit of things right here. But when it comes to like serious things and stuff like that, I don't know you because that's dumb. Why would you just get up and go to another country, go to another state, things and stuff like that, and not even know what you're getting into, not even do any kind of research, figure out what you do, at least have some type of game plan going together? That's dumb.
To some people, that's part of the adventure. For me, it's not. So
We hear about those people on like, what is that?
what?
Whatever those type of ID shows that come up. Yeah, investigative shows. Missing.
But yeah, for me, that's not a good time. I like to have some idea, and especially when you're going to a foreign country
Mhm.
that is not an English speaking country, or the majority of the people may not speak English, you're going to have some challenges, and you're going to need
Yep.
to understand a lot more than just, oh yeah, we're just going to pick up and get in a car and go.
I think y'all was working on that.
Yeah,
What happened?
couple
Because I
hours
know you
away.
and Ariel was doing good and learning French for a little while.
Well, first of all, I learned French
Oh.
in elementary school.
Uh-huh.
It was just a
Wee
continuation. for me.
doesn't mean nothing. That's not enough.
So it wasn't really hard for me to try and pick back up because, believe it or not, I remember a lot of sounds that I had that foundation for, just like with Spanish.
Mhm.
So yeah, we were doing that really heavily, but the goal was to do it to become conversational prior to the trip.
Right.
But when the trip was canceled, then the need for it was not as high of a priority.
Y'all should keep it up. 'Cause what you all don't know is that I was mentally preparing myself for that trip. Like I was really going to go on that trip, but we canceled that trip for
Because of
their
our,
reasons. Yeah, for stuff that's going on over there. Which hopefully things will get better and we can go there and experience. That's something that you and Ariel want to go to. That's not really my
it's
thing.
me and the kids, not just two people.
I
You're
don't think
outnumbered.
he cares about
Yes, he
one.
does.
No, he doesn't.
You should ask him.
I will ask him.
Okay.
I will. I haven't heard him make any type of suggestions
Yes,
towards
I'll
France.
prove it.
Okay. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Any other place than that?
Of course, other places. It's gonna sound crazy for some of them, but I definitely want to go to England, Ireland. I want to try as many places.
Ireland,
go to
yes,
as
that's
many
right. I
places
forgot.
as possible. And ideally, if it were a perfect world, and we had, if money were no object, then I would take like a month or two and just travel to all of the destinations that I want to travel to. And I know people do this with very little money, but I'm not that type of person where I'm going to go and stay in a hostel in a bed and sleep in a bed for $5 or whatever a night where there's 10 or 15 other people in there. I'm not like that.
That's what they do.
Yeah, so you could do stuff like that on a budget and travel, but for me, I would rather have a sense of security. You wouldn't have any because you can't get on a plane.
That's another thing. That's another thing about going on a trip that is, abroad. It's the fact that I cannot have my firearms, and now I feel naked. I am an American. I believe in having a gun. I believe in our Second Amendment, and I believe in having the ability to protect myself, you, and the kids. And, I'm not the baddest man on the planet. I do train in self-defense. Do I know more than a person that don't train in self-defense? Of course. More than likely, I will have the upper edge on them. Even if someone that trained in self-defense, if you're, depending on how long you've been doing it, I may have an upper edge on you. Depending on how fit you are, I may have an upper edge on you. If you trained and you're certain fit, there's certain things, levels that could put you over me, but it still doesn't mean that you can defeat me. Because someone that has no training skills, all they need is a lucky shot. They can knock me out cold. But even with that, even with me training and feeling confident in myself, feeling confident that I can, take on people if need be, I still like to have my firearm. Because especially where we live in America, you got people out there, criminals with firearms. Mm-hmm. And I have stopped criminals with my firearm. Not only, with what I do, but personally, had to stop. Well, I'm not going to say stop like that because I'm outside of work. I've never done like pointed at someone, but I know there's been a couple of times where I've had to grab my firearm because of what was happening. And I know that when that person saw me and saw what I was grabbing or what I was holding, it stopped them, stopped their action. They just turned around and walked away. So if we're out and abroad and I see things like that happening, I'm not going to have a firearm to say, this is going to be a tough day for you if you proceed on.
Yeah, and I think that's the challenge with, you're going into the unknown every day, regardless of whether you're in your own normal environment or if you're going to a foreign one. You don't necessarily have, you're not clairvoyant, you're not going to know what's about to happen. All you can do is make the best decision if something came up in that moment. And that's one of the things that I wanted to consider. That's why I look at travel advisories, look at certain places. Like I used to we talked about, when we were younger, going to Dubai. It was one of the places that I used to want to live.
Oh yeah, Dubai.
But it's not something that's advised today because of terrorist threat level. It's like level 3 or something like that. People still travel there. They still make that choice to go there, and they might have a good time and they're safe.
Yep.
But it could also be a time where they go and some tragedy strikes.
Yeah.
So there was some event that I was reading about that took place in France at I want to say it was like a soccer event, stadium. Somebody decided they were going to use that day. Maybe it was a concert. Use that day to start shooting at people.
In France?
Yeah. This was a year or two ago. Mm-hmm. So you read about those things and it might scare you into panic. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, I'm not going to go to these places. And I don't know if you remember, but you told me one time that you were upset with me because I wanted to travel. You had a dream. And I know you and Ariel recently were talking about dreams.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go to London. And you had a dream that we traveled to London and all of a sudden some crazy people came out with machine guns and they were shooting in your dream and we didn't have any protection.
No get back. So
we were just had fear for our lives. And I think when you had the dream at that time, it was just 3 of us in our family. So I always have things like that in the back of my mind, like trying to plan and prepare and, watch out for certain things, not have just simple mindless fun, where we're not having that watchful eye. You talk about that yourself, but I do think about that as well. Mm-hmm. I pay attention to people because you can tell sometimes when people are acting strange, they're going to do something stupid.
Yeah.
Try something
Trust
stupid.
me, I see it. Sometimes I think I see it before they see it themselves.
Even at home, you look at those warning signs.
Yeah.
But you can't let fear control what you choose to do.
Me and you will have some knives. I haven't done it.
Is it legal to have knives?
At this point, I wouldn't care because I'm gonna have something.
No, because you don't want to get arrested in another country. What is that? You have to look at where you're going.
You have knives. You have to cut food.
Yeah. You can go.
That's going to be my response. I cut food.
There are places.
I cut food.
You go. You can buy souvenirs.
I cut food now. I cut food.
And in France, one of the things that I looked into was like, going to get a souvenir, like pocket knife or something like that. Now, can you bring it back on the plane with you?
Yeah, I'm not worried about the plane. Like whatever I get over there once we touch grounds, that's okay. If I have to toss it in the trash when we get on the plane and come back, that's fine. I don't care about that. But I gotta have something.
So we're not saying this to say, oh, we're gonna go to another country.
I don't even care if it has to be a fork. Yeah, of course not. I'm just saying it's for self-protection.
It's for cutting.
Even if I have to use a fork,
you cut
take
meat,
a fork. Like I say, I mean the training that I do. You are aware of it. I don't need utensils to end someone. I don't need a weapon to end someone. I get a certain grab, a certain position. I can make that position happen. Heck, I can make you not breathe anymore just by standing beside you. I can make someone die out just by standing beside them in a certain position and stuff like that. But if you do what I do, we're all trained like that. We know how to do that in the training that I take. Um, so my hands can definitely be deadly. Um, but the type of person I am, I'd rather not have to use that if I don't have to. I don't want to have to physically fight you if I don't have to. If I can stop you by something else, keeping distance away, I'm going to stop you that way. If I have to duke it out or go hands on with you, yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm trained for it. But I like to save that for last.
I think that's not really much of a concern.
Not a concern. That's a squirrel moment. We're not really worried that much about it, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, in France, I've already looked into things like what I was referring to was more or less a terrorist attack, things that are out of your control that you may not be able to do something about. I know I was reading about a situation where it just happened to be military guys on a train that was traveling, I believe, from Switzerland to France. They were on vacation. Some guy tried to hijack the plane the train, and he picked the wrong day to do it because these two military guys stepped up and took him down.
Yeah.
Which,
those are the
things that I think about. Yeah. With terrorist attacks, but with thieves, regular individuals, they want to be sneaky, steal from you, and move on. They're not going to want any confrontation.
If you just
make a loud noise and start screaming.
I'm not even thinking about those. I'm thinking about the stuff like that. Like if we're down somewhere and they're like, give us all your money, do this, come with us, try to take Ariel or something like that. That's in my mind frame.
I don't.
And so yes,
I think that's in movies. Does that even happen for real?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, human trafficking is a thing, and yes, I would kill somebody.
Is that how they approach people for human trafficking?
I don't know.
You come with me now.
I've seen videos where it's been that simple, where they just walk up, especially when it's a lady by herself and she has a kid, and they just walk up, take the kid, and go on, or snatch the kid and run off. Some of them where the ladies don't respond, they just grab the kid and just walk off, and the lady's just looking like, what are you doing? And it's like, what are you talking about, lady? React. And so that's what I'm talking about, stuff like that. I'm just going to react quickly. And if I get my hands on them, get it in the right way, then about 5 or 10 seconds, they're going to be knocked out. And you might have to be that ear in my head and say, okay, he's unconscious. Let go, because if you continue to hold on to what you got, he's going to be dead.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. But if you mess with my children, mess with you, stuff like that, somebody's going to definitely run that risk. And the risk is going to be high.
And the risk to you would be high because you would get...
Oh, I don't care. If you are safe, I don't care. We'll make it.
Well, then you would be gone, and then we would have to go back home by ourselves.
We won't be gone. We'll figure it out. But other than that, anything, any other destination? I know just domestically, I spoke about the destinations, like Wyoming, things like that. It's not really too much. I think we should take a trip to Texas. I think we should do that.
I mean, I wanted to do that for years, but I don't know right now.
Got you. But at some point, we should take a trip to Texas. Unfortunately, nothing else really strikes me domestically other than the places that we've already been and that we go to on a normal basis or on a regular basis.
Yeah, I mean, we might travel to other places, other states that we haven't been to yet. But we have to have, I mean, a specific reason, a family-oriented reason. Um, from my standpoint right now. And there are other states, Kentucky.
Kentucky, I can see that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's not really many places that I want to go.
No cruises?
I definitely want to go on a cruise.
You do?
I was actually looking up, this is not about a cruise, this is about the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Because you said cruise and it made me think of Caribbean.
Mm-hmm. Often people think of that when you mention cruise.
So I wanted to go to Aruba.
Aruba?
But Aruba is like right off the coast of Venezuela. And there are a lot of Venezuelan refugees.
I'm in Venezuela. Is it? Is
that close to Venezuela? Traveling because Venezuela is really bad apparently. And there are a lot of refugees that try and seek asylum in Aruba. According to the Aruban government, some of them are deported a lot every year, but it makes it seem like there might be some troubles.
You're right.
I know
it's very
right.
close to South America.
I know I'm right.
That one time. You only get one per year.
Right. And of course, you can travel to Aruba at any time because it's not at risk for hurricane. We got hurricane season coming up.
Yeah.
It's outside of that hurricane belt.
This moment, yeah.
No, I said it's outside of the hurricane belt. So you don't have to worry about.
Oh, you don't have to worry about
hurricanes in Aruba.
Maybe the travels there and back, depending on when you take it. Because I'm sure that's a flight that you'll be taking from like Florida.
Yeah. More
likely. But yeah. I never really thought about Aruba. See, the thing is, I'm such which would be a good topic for another time. If everyone is flocking to this destination, everybody has to go there. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's doing it. You look online and you see people on these cruises and they go into this, they go into the islands and stuff like that. That makes me not want to go there. And so when we have talked about vacation areas or destinations, I've never considered the Caribbeans.
The reason that I never really wanted to go to places like the Bahamas. Yes, everybody goes there.
Yeah.
Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, little places like that. Bermuda. I just
everybody knows
it's not just that. It's just I don't want to cruise there.
Yeah, you don't want to cruise there. I don't want to fly there. And to me, it's just played out because, once again, ever since I was a child, that's all I heard about. It's the Bahamas, like you said, those certain islands and stuff around there, the Caribbean. Everybody talks about that. Everybody has probably done it at least once, and I haven't. And I just feel like I'd just be part of the collective if I chose to do that. And I wanted to do it, like, yeah, let me do this, let me get on this cruise and go here and stuff like that. It's just be like, I don't want to be part of that collective. I don't want to be part of the board. Not saying that those aren't beautiful places, not good places and stuff like that, but it's just me. You don't have to like my opinion, my decision on it, but that's just how I feel. And that's not to say that I won't ever go, but I don't think that I would just like be picking to go there. That'll be something like I want a trip or something like that. Someone is paying for it, or let's say somewhere down the line we had to do business and we had to go to a business meeting or something like that in the Caribbean or something like that. It was very dire. Something like that would force me to do that. But as of now and how it's always been, that's not going to be something I'm going to be like, yeah, I got vacation time. Let's go there.
Yeah, I have no desire to get on a crowded, sinkable ship and float into the middle
Man,
of the ocean.
yeah, that Titanic. It's crowded. I've been seeing videos recently of these ships and people fighting, the clubs that they have on these ships and stuff like that. All types of stuff. All types of situations going on, and I'm thinking to myself, that's ignorant.
Yeah.
That's ignorant. You're supposed to be having fun. You're supposed to be leaving your everyday troubles, worries, whatever it is behind and stuff like that. And then you want to go and take it on a cruise ship, and you're managing the fight on a cruise ship, getting drunk and doing all these types of things that you would do normally at home. You're doing it on a cruise ship, doing it in the Caribbeans. It's like, that's played out.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, I really don't like crowded places. I don't like being around large groups of people. But even still, you hear about these issues a lot of times coming up with the ships themselves.
Yeah.
So plumbing issues with the rooms that you may have.
Food poisoning.
Elevators not working. So that's going to be a problem if we get on a ship.
Yes.
There's no elevator.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think about those kinds of things, and it just makes me not want to go.
Yeah.
But I want to travel all over Europe, Portugal. Used to want to travel to the Netherlands. Don't know if I really want to do that as much anymore. Switzerland.
Switzerland. Yeah.
All kinds of places. Italy, of course. Greece.
Italy. Maybe
and
Romania.
Just try the food. Why would I want to go to Romania?
We talked about that. I talked to you about that the other day.
I mean, I am crazy, and I have.
Let me ask you this question.
What?
Yes or no?
I'm not.
Yeah, huh?
I don't know.
No, you can't even answer it right now. Don't say you don't know. You don't even know what it was. So if I said that, yes, I'm going to fly. This is going to be my first flight. This is going to be the flight that we're going to have to do for me to get on the plane. And that first place that we're going to is going to be Transylvania, something like that. Would you do it?
Heck yeah.
Seriously?
Why not?
That's dumb. No. Just to get me on a plane.
Well, first of all, we're going to have a lot of stops because we probably won't find a direct.
It doesn't matter. Still,
cool.
the destination will be Transylvania.
And like I said,
I don't even know. Is that even a real country? Is that something just made up in like vampire folklore or something?
I think it's a town. Am I wrong?
Is it a town?
I don't know. Don't get me to talk about geography.
All I know that is where Dracula lives.
Yeah.
Transylvania. Oh my God. Romania.
Yeah, I thought that's why you were saying it.
Nope. Okay then. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, something different. Experience what? 800,000-year-old ghosts
800,000
in castles. Like, what are you doing here? That'd be crazy. But yeah, I think it's gonna be cool. It's gonna happen soon. We're ready to rock and roll, and I'll face it.
Are we ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. I'll face it. I'm a pretty good person with having something in front of me that might be a hurdle, and just throwing myself at it. And so this is a hurdle, and I'm going to throw myself at it someday. Okay. I almost did one time. I know I think we was in Florida, and I almost took a helicopter ride.
Yeah, I
almost did that.
So here's the thing.
I was kind of ready to do it.
Because I was thinking about like, this is going to be a challenge for you, and it would be a challenge for our family. But I was considering multi city flights.
No.
See, you
No.
said no.
Yeah, I mean, for the first go,
Fly from one place to another with the ultimate goal of going to another place.
no. When we're traveling by air, we need to minimize the flights as possible. Um, excuse me. I'm never going to be uneasy, or I'm never going to be comfortable with flying. It's just that mentally, I'm going to have myself ready to rock and roll. Like, forget how you feel. Just go and do it. Shut up. Stop being a wussy. Go do it. That's how I'm going to take. So anytime I get on the plane, it's going to be that way. It's not going to be, oh yeah, you've flown 10 times. You should be cool with that. No. It's not going to be that way. 20 times. It's not going to be the way. It's going to be the same. It's going to be the same feeling. Shut up. Get on the plane. Go to where you need to go. That's what I'm going to be telling myself. You ain't got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, I ain't got time for that. You spend your money, shut on the plane, get up and go. Don't nobody care about what you scared. You scared of falling out the sky. Okay, everybody probably scared of falling out the sky. Whatever. Just shut up. Stop. Be a man. Stop being a wussy. So that's my whole approach. That's going to be about that thing. So you don't have to really go through these things where, oh, we're going to take these multiple flights and think. Don't ever think to yourself like the more flights I take, the easier it's going to be. The more flights I take, it'll be the more accustomed I'll become with the process of flying. But the actual flying itself, no, it's going to be the same. It's going to always be there.
I'm sure. But what I'm saying is not like plane hopping. You fly from one place to the next.
Ignorant.
What?
That sounds ignorant.
Fly from one place to the next.
I don't want
You
to fly
stay
from
there
one
for
place
a couple of
to the next.
days
Stay there for a
because
couple
that
of days.
is a temporary destination. Then you fly from that place to another place.
If that's something we had to
Stay
do
for a few days.
for our destination, that's what we had to do, yes. But if we can just go straight to the destination, I'm going straight to the destination. You know
But
me.
the point is to enjoy multiple destinations in a short period of time.
Okay, if that's our plan to enjoy multiple destinations, we're going to plan for that. That's fine. However, what I don't want you to get in your head is more flights will be better for you. That's all I'm trying to say is no, it's not going to work like that. It's not going to work like that. No.
It's just like any other mode of transportation. Every time you get in your car, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but I can control the car.
You pray and you get
I can control the car.
Yeah, you can control it.
When cars decide,
most of the time,
probably 98% of the time, when cars decide they don't want to be cars anymore, or vehicles, they decide they don't want to do that anymore. I mean, you could just pull off to the side of the road. You can figure stuff out and stuff like that.
Most of the time.
But if your plane decide, you know what? At this moment, I want to be a cigarette. It just, I don't want to fly anymore. You can't do no controlling over there. You're just at its mercy. You're going to be in one giant cigarette until it hits the ground and explodes and you're gone.
Well, I mean,
so
at least it'll be cool.
That's how I feel about that. I can drive down the street and Devastator can, make his choice. I don't want to be a truck anymore. I want to be a tennis shoe, whatever the case, that it will stop working. I'm good. I'm like, hey, I'm pulled over.
Yeah.
Got a tow truck company. Oh, I got a tow truck coming. Can you come pick me up and stuff like that? We'll figure it out. Can't do that on the plane.
I mean, most of the
That's
time.
That's not a good example. I hear people give that examples all the time. It's not a good example.
Most of the time, that is true. But there are situations where vehicles go out of control. There's nothing the driver can do about it.
Yes.
Still, that goes back to my other research. For the last decade plus, there really haven't been that many fatal plane.
Doesn't matter, because when that plane decides it doesn't want to be a plane,
commercial planes, obviously those
its mercy.
Little ones are the ones that are more likely to have issues.
Yeah, but you can jump and tuck and roll. I mean, there's people who've done
it.
I mean,
talking about
you have so many.
Roll?
Try jump, tucking, and rolling out of a plane, thousands of feet in the sky, and see how that works out for you.
I mean, we just had a fatal plane crash in this city a few weeks ago.
Yes.
One of those regional or the little small
Yes.
passenger planes.
Yeah.
You have the same odds. You're not gonna make it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think you got confused with what I was trying to explain. Once again, I was just trying to explain that you got better chances of survival with a vehicle not operating correctly, and more than you do than a plane not operating correctly. That's just it.
You
That's
are
it.
absolutely correct.
So it's like, I mean, it's like 100%. It's like if you go through 100 years and there's been no plane crash, but there's a plane crash, more than likely everyone on that plane is just going to die. But you can have a accident. I mean, there's accidents every day. I do like 3 or 5 of them on a daily basis, it seems. Most of those people survive, you know, as long as I've been doing what I'm doing. I've had traffic fatalities that I can count on one hand for the most part, that I know that I have worked on or either did some form of investigation on. I think I can count them all on one hand. But for the most part, no matter how terrible the accident is, how bad it is, most of the time people survive. They might have to get rushed off to the hospital. They might be hurt. They might have some serious injuries, but they survive. So I'm just saying, you gotta take the pros and cons. It's mathematics.
I don't know if
Yes,
those stats that you just gave are true,
You don't
because
want to accept it.
a few years ago it was like 2
I'm
fatalities in
gonna
2
fly the
weeks,
plane.
and you did both of the, you were both of those were in your beat like at the same spot.
Yeah, so
One of them, never mind.
like I said, yeah, that's another thing. But I think we're doing good with that. I am ready to relax.
I relax with that.
Yeah, well,
That's what
you.
vacations are for.
Once again, that's you. You like that. You like staying up late, doing schoolwork, or continuing doing work that you can wait till the next day to do.
Most of the time it's schoolwork.
Yeah.
Because yes, work.
And it's like you have, how many degrees you have? Do you even want to say that?
Oh my gosh, why do you keep talking about
Do
that?
I keep talking about that?
Yes.
I mean, but it's like you keep going, you've been going to school, you get degree on top of degree on top of degree, and it's like, okay, are you done? And then you sign up for other classes. And you're like, I want to get this degree. I want this certification. I want that. And it's like, but you complain a lot. Oh, I don't get sleep. And then you try to put on me, you get to go to sleep. I don't get to go to sleep. It's, yeah, because I stop. I stop. I work. I do whatever I need to do. You know me. It's like I have a certain time that I say, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Do that. And when my time comes, where I say that's when I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna lay down, I stop and lay down. It doesn't matter if I have to take something else over. Typically, I don't, because I get everything done. Then I have to wait and stuff like that. But rest is important. Sleep is important. That's very vital. If you want to do a great job, you need to get your rest and stuff like that. Drink a lot of water. So you need to do that.
I think
you have enough. You have a lot of education bestowed upon you.
Not enough.
That you're okay. You're okay.
I'm not okay.
There are people with 4-year degrees, 6-year, whatever, that's trying to get to where you are in several areas in life. So you're okay. You're all right.
Well, then I mean, I don't know.
Rest.
I don't
rest.
I have taken my time.
Or
I have rested, and then because I get back to it.
Here comes to the next point that I'll make. Do what you want to do. Just don't complain about it.
I don't complain about it.
Yes, you do. All right, I better not ever hear you again talking about you get to get sleep. No, I don't get to get sleep. I make sleep. I'll make it happen.
Sleep can be.
I'll make it happen.
Sleep is one of those sacrifices, temporary sacrifice,
Yes, it's a sacrifice,
short-term loss,
but your body needs it.
long-term gain.
And I get the idea of that. Yeah, if I'm not asleep, I can do A, B, C, D, be more productive. But how good are you going to be, and how productive if you're going to be if you're running on a low battery? And
Very productive.
I'm getting
because
older. Yeah,
I can run for 2 days off of 3 hours of sleep.
that might be why you don't be making sense half the time. That's probably a good reason why. Can you drive 2 or 3 hours without going to sleep?
Yes.
Can you?
Almost.
Can you drive 2 or 3 hours without going to sleep?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
I
Sure.
can. As long as the sun is up.
Yeah. Okay. Wait until you get my age. Wait until you get my age. That sleep is going to be very important.
We'll see.
All right.
It's never been the case for me. I think even when I was a teenager, like
Oh, yeah.
my mother would sometimes, I don't even remember why, but I remember being forced to stay awake. And there was one day I had been awake for over 24 hours.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
that
was starting to hallucinate.
Really? Just for 24 hours?
Yeah. Or it had been longer than that, but whatever happened, I started to hallucinate, and it was crazy. It was the first time I hallucinated, and everything was funny. Everything started to become
Oh, that's average.
hilarious to
Yeah,
me,
that's
no matter what it was. And eventually, yeah, I think I started falling asleep with my eyes open. And then I guess over the years that kind of grew.
No, I think you're just getting into your psycho killer.
Psycho killer?
Yeah, that's psycho
I've
killer.
never killed anyone.
Psycho killerish.
What kind
That is psycho killerish.
What?
Hallucinating,
No.
going to sleep with your eyes open. Just only after 24 hours.
Well,
Being
maybe it
sleep
was
deprived.
48 hours. I'm trying to recall when I was a teenager. But I know that however long it had been, I was completely out of my mind.
Yeah. Psycho killer.
Not a killer.
I know you're not. I'm just messing with you. But yeah, do your thing. I get my sleep. That's fine. We know I need my sleep. I don't hallucinate like
You
that.
do
but,
crazy things when you have not had
yeah,
any
it's
sleep.
just my brain just doesn't compute in reality, and so I could be one of those type of people that it's like I'm trying to figure out why the vacuum is not fitting in the refrigerator. It's like, what's going
Yeah,
on?
you do weird things.
And you're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, what? The vacuum you trying to put in the refrigerator? I'm like, really? I'm sleep deprived. All you gotta do is just tell me. Yeah, just all you gotta do is just tell me put the vacuum in the closet. It's like don't make a big deal out of it. I'm just sleep deprived. That's all it is.
I know when you have not slept, because of course when I do go to sleep, I'm completely out. So whatever you're doing, I have no idea. But I know the aftermath, whether or not you had any sleep, because the next day there will be something weird, and I'll say to the kids, "Your father must not have slept well last night."
We are like what?
It's just things in weird places. Like you just said, vacuum in the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, it's not going to fit, but the remote will. Like the remote will be in the freezer.
Yeah.
There will be fresh food in the pantry instead of like in the refrigerator. I mean, just things completely in strange
because it's
ways.
just not computing.
Yeah.
Yes, it is what it is. That's why I got to make sure I get my sleep.
Whatever. Or you can learn to be like me. I think I was groomed.
But no, that's what I wanted to say. When I was younger, I could go through a day or two not going to sleep. Being sleep deprived wasn't the biggest issue. But as I got older, that became very important for me to get. Was making sure that I get some rest and sleep. And I don't think that's ever going to stop. The only thing that I can see now, maybe because I am getting ancient, is that I think that my hours that I need to feel rested, I think is shortening.
You think so?
I think so.
Well, that's a good thing.
Can be. I could definitely start getting some other things done. An extra hour and 30 minutes, 2 hours can help a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Well, we've gotten completely off topic.
Yeah, off topic from vacation to sleep or
Lack
how I
of
would
sleep.
take somebody out during a vacation.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, if I have to, I will. It's just point blank.
I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
self-defense.
Yes.
But again, self-defense in other countries is not what self-defense is here. So
Yeah, I got you. All right, well, we're going to leave it be. We're going to make it an end.
all
We're
right.
going to, I don't think we started off with this, did we?
Yes, we did.
We did?
Uh-huh.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
I do
Because
because I
I'm
pushed the
sleeping.
button.
Because I'm tired. I'm ready to get knocked out. My body has been aching, especially from like I said, the training. It's just, but thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, God.